Good morning. My name is Cheryl Zimmerman, and I'm the director of Arm of Hope, and Hope Church has been my church family for, more than 22 years. I came here when I was 5, obviously. So, okay, I'm going to talk to you a little about Arm of Hope. So if you've been at Hope for a long time, blah, 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 you can check your social media, that's fine. But if you're new to Arm of Hope, in the last couple months or years, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about how Arm of Hope got started. Because it's a crazy story about how God brings people together, and he does what he wants, and he does good things. And Arm of Hope actually kind of started in Alaska when a group from this church 12 years ago went to Alaska and met a guy from Ghana in Alaska on a mission trip. Then 2 years later, God took our family to Ghana to serve in a completely different capacity, but we looked up this guy from Alaska that my husband had met. And he took us to this place where he's working. And he was trying to run a Bible club, and it's a slum. If you know anything about a slum is an unplanned neighborhood where people go when they're in their most desperate situations. And Philip, our now partner, took us there, and we met these children he was trying to reach out to, he was trying to share God's love with. And I remember God speaking to me when we left, and I just leaned forward in the van and I said, how can I help? Because I'm a proactive person. I don't want to come home and be the same, after seeing something like that and see people live in that kind of situation. And Philip told me, I wish I could send 20 kids to school. He said, these kids just roam about this neighborhood all day long. All the criminals in Ghana live in this neighborhood. This neighborhood is full of poverty, and these kids aren't going to school. And how are they ever going to move ahead if they don't go to school? So I came home to this awesome church, and I'm correct. It was the first year that Pastor Kirk was here. It was right when he came. But not every church would let you do this, but Hope Community Church is like, yeah, let's do this. And we were externally focused before we were externally focused. We were. So before we had the logo. So I remember coming up here and telling my church friends, there's these kids, and I saw them, and they live in this horrible situation, but they're awesome kids, and they have so much potential. And there's this cool guy named Philip Darko, and he's a social worker. And Philip Darko, when he was doing his internship for school, he was told to go into this place and take a census, which cracks me up because no one knows how many people live in there. It's like 50,000 people or more on this little plot of land. But when he walked into that neighborhood across this lagoon that was supposed to be a beautiful lake and is now full of trash and sewage, the Spirit of God spoke to him and said, I want you here. And so that's how it started. And since then, we've become a partnering ministry with Philip Darko and Arm of Hope in Ghana, meaning we just support them, we encourage them, we give ideas, but we are following what they're leading because they're obviously working in their own country, which is super cool. And God has helped us build a building in the slum with a library, a computer center. There's a Bible club with hundreds and hundreds of kids every Sunday. They have to run shifts because so many kids are coming to Bible club. And we have a student sponsorship program where we can now have currently close to 600 kids in school, including 40-some kids in college. Some are graduating from college. And some of those kids that are graduating, a lot of them are nurses, doing medical related things. And recently we bought this piece of land in the middle of the slum, which is crazy because there's no land. We're talking there's no roads, okay? When we built our building, they had to carry the concrete in a pan on their head, each pan, because there's no road, there's just little paths. So we have this piece of property and we want to build a clinic on it because we got all these kids rising up, and our vision is to raise up leaders and disciple makers who change their community, their country, and their world. So we want to see these kids that we've raised up, that God has raised up, come and work in their own community and minister there. So, if you're on social media, get off now, okay? We are having a picnic on Saturday. It's our biggest event for Arm of Hope, and it's super fun. It used to be a banquet, which was boring. Then COVID made it into a picnic, which is awesome. You literally pull into your parking space. There's a sign there that says who sponsored your space, which is why your ticket is completely free. We bring you this cool little picnic lunch out to your car. People bring chairs, tables. I've even seen tablecloths, flowers. It's getting kind of crazy, but. And then you get to have this picnic. There'll be Fox Meadows ice cream. There'll be a coffee bar. There's going to be a cool display that you can go through with your kids. Please bring your kids. I took my son, Caden, that does worship when he was 5 years old. It has changed his life. Our kids need to know that the way they live is not normal, that a lot of people don't live like that. So please come out. It's from 5 to 7. Drop in anytime to get your food. 7 o'clock, Philip Darko himself is going to be here. He's going to talk about what God's doing in Ghana. And he's going to talk about this new clinic that we're building. And if you would like to give to the clinic, you're welcome. No pressure at all. We just tell you about what God's doing, and God has continually provided over and over and over again.